Hey, it's Jordan with TYT Network, here in beautiful Washington Square Park, downtown Manhattan. There's going to be a shit ton of people here for Bernie Sanders in a little bit.
He's the only politician in this race that's bringing the truth. Just simply the truth. I mean, you got to play a little politics here and there, but for the most part, he's bringing out the truth of everything that's going on in this country. Everything that's affecting the working people, the millennials who are coming up into society that need an infrastructure in order to grow. Social mobility, things like that. Those are the things that affect us, and those are the things that he's talking about.
Do you think there's something to be said for like younger people can kind of smell bullshit? You know, you could kind of you could tell when someone's sincere. Do you think
Like I've never been involved in politics ever. Like this is the first time ever I'm like listening to this, learning about what you need to do. He's the one that's getting people inspired to move, to learn. All these laws and all these things that you don't know just to keep you down, until he doesn't speak it up and bring it up, you have no idea how these corporations are affecting your life, like your everyday life. There's people on the top just playing the lines.
It's Brooklyn in the house. I'm for Bernie from Brooklyn. He's the most progressive person we have run up for the President of the United States of America. Got to represent primary April 19th. We gotta go. We're all tired of the status quo. Status quo gotta go.
Sisters and brothers in New York, integrity is what you do when nobody is watching. And as a 20-something-year-old young man, he put his body on the line for civil rights and social justice and business. And sisters and brothers, in this life, we gonna go through some stuff, but we can't have a testimony without a test. And we are being tested about whether or not we have heart enough, strength enough, soul enough, humanity enough to stand up and to do what is right.
This is our only chance to have someone of his caliber, stature, integrity, and authenticity who literally walked with Martin Luther King to be our president. New York, we're gonna make that happen.
The Democratic Party is becoming more and more Republicrat. Bernie will turn the Democratic Party back into the Democratic Party that our generation knew and loved.
Do you think that the older generation, instead of looking at Bernie as pie in the sky, should kind of focus on, well, we've been pragmatic for now 20, 30, 40 years, and the income inequality has, exploded?
It's just been horrible. I feel so bad for the new generation.
Jane and I left New York City when we were kids. It is great to be back. Thank you. It is a campaign about not ignoring the veterans who sleep out on the street, the children, the elderly, or the poor. It is about creating a government that creates a decent standard of living for every man, woman, and child.
The whole older generation saying like he's an idealist, this is never going to happen. To me, that doesn't mean anything, because even if Bernie doesn't make these changes during his term, look at all these people. We're going to make it happen. That's the point of a movement.
I come from a relatively wealthy area, and they ask me, they don't understand. My dad's a business owner, a small business owner. They don't understand how I can support a lot of democratic ideals like Bernie and even Hillary, and I always tell them I put my morality before my wallet, and I think that's really important.
We aren't in it just for the free stuff. We see opportunity, and we have to take what opportunities we can get.
Obviously, we're struggling because the wage gap between the rises of prices and our wages aren't going up with that. And a lot of students are going to college, and they're having all these loans in their names, and they're having to pay back these loans, but with no job. And I just think it's very annoying and frustrating at the fact that I have to endure $100,000 of loans, but then I can't even find a job when I graduate.
You got a lot of loans?
Not a lot of loans, but a substantial amount that if I don't find a job, they're not going to be able to pay back. I go to NYU, so $70,000 a year, that's a heck of a lot of money for a private institution.
It's a fuck a lot of money. If when you get out of college, you got to pay $1,000 a month in loans, you're not going to go spend your money elsewhere to stimulate the economy.
Exactly.
You're probably going to live in a rat-infested box here in Manhattan and not be a productive part of the economy.
Exactly. And especially being from Long Island, housing is expensive in Long Island, and in some places more expensive than in Manhattan. So how do you expect me to pay back loans and then not even be able to live? You know what I mean? So it's crazy.
Do you think Bernie's policies would help African Americans who, let's face it, unemployment, particularly for teenagers, is through the roof?
Yes. Honestly, I feel like a lot of them believe that Bernie Sanders may be too old to do things, but I feel like he's very much more passionate about diminishing the racial structure than Hillary Clinton is. So
Let me tell you something. I'm 30. Bernie Sanders is 74.
yeah.
I go around the country and I can't stay awake. And this man is going to the Vatican on Friday.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I said I feel he's very capable, and he's not just stating this to win people's votes. He's extremely passionate about it. He was even involved in the civil rights movement. So what does that say about someone's character?
I think right now, like, what's so important to us is like being honest, being true, like to what you stand for, what you represent. And I just feel like Hillary just gives off this like one day she's just supporting these things that she's never supported before, and she just switched. It was way too much for me. Bernie is like a candidate that I believe is just strong, and he knows what he believes in, and he's willing to stand up for it, and that's amazing to me.
Bernie, 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 Bernie.